You did everything right. The job, the promotion, a life that looks great on paper. So why does it feel like you're watching your own life from the outside, waiting to feel something you can't quite name? That question is more common in the United States right now than most people realize. And today, we're going to talk about why. I'm your host, Susie Rains, and you're listening to Health Over Wealth in the U.S., the podcast that helps Americans find cash-based, client-centered care outside the traditional insurance system. Today's episode is about burnout, not the kind that comes from one bad week, the kind that shows up even when nothing is technically wrong. This one comes from a Health Over Wealth article written by Nancy Poon, a transformative life coach based in Hawaii. And I want to be upfront with you. I'm not going to give you the whole thing today, because what Nancy lays out is worth reading in full, not just hearing in passing. Here's where we'll start. Nancy makes a distinction that most people have never actually heard named out loud. Most people assume coaching is about changing what you do, your habits, your schedule, your to-do list. Nancy's approach works differently. It changes who you believe you are. And that one shift from doing to believing changes everything downstream from it. Your decisions, your relationships, how you lead, how you communicate, how you actually feel at the end of a Tuesday. In her article, Nancy walks through a 5-stage framework developed by an educator named Jack Mazzaro. It maps out how this kind of change actually happens. It starts with something called disorienting dilemma, a moment that knocks you off your usual way of thinking, whether it's a small moment or a big one. From there, she walks through exactly what happens next. The reflection, the noticing, and the part most people skip entirely, which is usually the part that actually creates the change. I'm not going to walk through all 5 stages here. Nancy lays them out clearly, one at a time, in the article she wrote, in Health Over Wealth in the U.S. Honestly, reading them in her words does more than me summarizing them for you. There's also research in there worth knowing, national data on how common burnout actually is across the United States right now, not just in one profession, but broadly, and a look at what coaching outcomes actually show, backed by source data, not just good intentions. Nancy also answers some of the questions people ask most often before they ever reach out to a coach. Questions like whether this is the same as therapy, how long a shift like this usually takes, and what to do if you don't have a specific goal. You just know something's off. All of that is in the article, laid out in plain language at healthoverwealth.us. If any of this sounds familiar, and you're in Hawaii, or really anywhere, and you're sensing that something needs to shift, not just your schedule, but how you see yourself, Nancy's full profile is searchable on the Centered Care Directory at healthoverwealth.us. You can message her directly from her listing. So take a minute, go read the full article. The link is in the show notes. It's called Why Am I Burnt Out Even Though My Life Looks Fine? Written by Nancy Poon. If this episode was useful to you, follow the show so you don't miss the next one. Health Over Wealth in the U.S., you have options.